Do the pilots have parachutes?
No.
Nobody on the plane.
No one has a parachute.
Can you bring a parachute with you on a plane?
I don't know if there's rules against that, actually.
Like if
I strapped up.
Could I buy one? Can you get a parachute on Amazon?
And then just walked into the
And can I bring one with me on Southwest?
So here's maybe you could.
I don't know if you get it through TSA.
Episode 72. We're in a little bit of a new location, so this is a trial run.
Yeah, live from the Fox Den.
We'll see how it goes. Could be some
Part 2.
That's throwback.
Could be some bumps in the road.
It'll be all right.
But let's go ahead and kick things off.
What up?
With this bottle, Josh, now you picked this up.
Yeah.
Morris Rutherglen.
Watch your language.
That's what it says on the front of this bottle. Now, this is a Australian single malt whiskey. It's kind of unique. I don't know how many Australian single malt whiskeys are out there. Josh, maybe you can look up what's the Australian whiskey market look like? Is it big, small? What's the primary beverage down there? I would guess it would be beer. But it says, at Morris, our family has been crafting world-renowned flavor for 6 generations. Since 1859, it's our rare prize-winning barrels that gift us a distinct and uniquely Australian whiskey experience. They are the masters of flavor, according to the bottle. And I know that I said beer earlier. I think they do a lot of wine as well.
In Australia?
Yeah.
While you were reading that, I was trying to come up with like an Australian joke. I have not one.
Got nothing?
Nothing.
All right, perfect. Great. Love it.
Yeah, so.
All right, so we'll pop the top here.
Give us
See
a
how
good
this
pop.
goes. But it's a nice bottle. It looks very respectable. Do you know what you paid for this? Do you recall?
The label was $65.
Okay.
The guy said it was $10 off today, and Jay rang it up for $50.
Great.
Super hookup. So you got like
Shout out to Jay.
good
Shout out to the boy Jay.
Yep.
Yeah, he hooked us up. Spirit Shop down on that is Falls. Still Falls, right?
Falls in
Still Falls,
Clarkview.
yeah.
There we go. Falls in Clarkview.
Now, this has been in your car for some time.
A week.
Is nice and chilly.
Yes. Yeah, I thought about that.
Nice and cold.
That it was cold and that may not be beneficial.
It's
but
okay.
Here
it's
we are.
going to be great.
I'm gonna drink it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to get into it
drink it
regardless.
anyway.
Okay, cool.
All right.
There's that. I'll pass that over to you. Top is right there. We're going to go ahead and take a couple of sips and get into this. While we do,
I'm having a little bit of trouble here trying to determine the market because all these market research websites want you to pay for the data. So I have a pie chart, but it says XX% next to everything.
but for example, if you just Google,
Yeah.
like, what's the number one alcohol in Australia? Like, what's the most popular?
Let's do that.
What does it say? Most widely produced.
I feel like I got a lot more clicking than I normally do.
What's produced at the highest amount? Highest
Butterfly
rate?
keys, bro.
Number one alcohol in Australia gives me what the blood alcohol content is for
Number
DUI.
one spirit in Australia is bourbon, then rum, then vodka,
This guy's better than me.
then gin, then tequila, then liqueurs, and then brandy and cognac.
A lot of adults. Bourbon is number one.
I would still say the beer is the number one.
I know,
I
'cause my
search
question
spirits.
is
I
that-
search spirits.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think
so
beer
spirits.
is probably the overwhelming favorite.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Very good. Not what I would have guessed, but here we are. It's my dog digging in the
she's-
carpet. She'll settle down.
Nothing.
She's going to town.
She'll calm down.
I got her.
She's just getting used.
good.
She's just getting comfortable. It'll take some time. All right. We're going to dive right into the title loss, AFC Championship title loss. Ravens went ahead and didn't
Shit the
do so
bed,
hot.
yeah.
It didn't do so hot.
Oh, man.
And so that's why we're not wearing our jerseys this week. We thought maybe we would again.
Well, we're just wearing all black because it's a funeral.
Funeral.
It's a sad time. It's a sad time. We lost McDonald today too. He's on his way out.
Yeah, he's gone, man. He's gonna go work for the brother.
6 years. No, he's going to Seahawks.
He's on the Seahawks. That's right. Yeah.
Head coach, 6-year contract, 6-year deal. That's what is reported.
Good for him, man. That's,
Yeah. He must have, I don't know, he either was trying to stay at the Ravens for a little bit or they really wanted him because 6 years is a pretty
You can't
hefty
turn
contract.
down that type of opportunity.
No.
It's true.
You can if you want to, stay and build, but this is what you work for. Like you show and prove, and then someone puts. Did they say what the 6 years was worth?
No, that's not come out yet. I don't know if it's actually been like signed and sealed at this stage in the game, but I think that's
he's
what
out.
I think that's what
Yeah.
they offered him, and it seems as if it's gone into negotiations,
I mean,
if you will, whatever you want to call it.
Kudos to him. He built a beautiful defense here. Whoever the secondary coach is in Baltimore is in talks now to become the defensive coordinator. So he's done a really good job. He worked under Mike McDonald. And, we should see a lot of the same schemes, a lot of the same stuff. I don't know, what that's going to look like. But, I'm still confident. I mean, Baltimore is a team that is built around, their defense.
Built around losses.
Oh, God.
Just kidding. Just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. But
Thoughts on the game, though? Got any key takeaways?
Yeah, I got tons.
There's been a lot of people that have had a lot of thoughts as to why this was ultimately a L.
It was a team loss, right? Lamar didn't perform well.
Correct.
We did not stick to the game plan. We were outcoached.
Seems like it.
Defense did their job. I feel like if you can hold Mahomes and Kelsey to just 17 points, I feel like you kind of did your job. But at the same time, they played under the defense in a consistent manner. What was it? Mahomes didn't have a pass over 20 yards, which is. I mean,
he didn't need to have a pass.
He didn't need to. He just needed to.
Brings us to another point.
Yeah, he just needed to do exactly what he did, and he did it. Run the clock out, short passes.
A paper cut offense.
Yeah, the entire time. And we couldn't get the wheels going. And I still don't understand why we got away from what was working for us for 17 weeks running the ball.
Yeah.
I think we kind of played to the tape rather than playing our game. And
there's got to be a reason, though, because, I mean, no offense to us, none of us are coaches.
No.
They had to have seen something. They had to have felt something was afoot, if you will. I don't think you just wake up and decide to go for.
We're not gonna do
80% are going to be pass attempts. I think they were seeing something that led them to.
It's very odd because
I agree. When I was watching the game, I felt it was a huge mistake to not have a stronger run presence, because that's really, I think, what foundationally makes the Ravens so successful when it comes to offense. Because you really want to, in my opinion, when the Ravens get a little bit of a lead and they can manage the clock and they can own the clock, that's when you win.
And then we play from behind.
Casey owned the clock the entire game, kind of took our playbook a little bit. They really were just, we're not going to do big plays. We'll get 1 or 2 touchdowns. We're just going to get a few points. But as long as you guys are beneath us, we're just going to run this clock out.
They played the short game and managed the clock. And then we had to play from behind. And playing from behind, you're going for a lot of big plays. You don't want to run the ball a lot because then you're going to run the clock out.
Yeah.
I'm not. They outcoached us. They outcoached us, and they tried to make some second half adjustments.
Definitely an outcoaching thing.
That kind of worked. I don't know why we didn't get Odell going sooner, because he came out on fire.
I almost feel as if the Ravens have one too many offensive weapons or options, because you have Bateman, Aguilar, OBJ, Flowers,
Andrews.
I already said Bateman. Andrews, Likely.
Hill.
Yeah, there's so many people.
There's so many.
So it feels like it's even hard to establish a rhythm with any one or two people.
There's no one guy.
Yeah, because you'll not see somebody for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden Aguilar's out there, and you're like, I forgot he was on the team. Where is he been?
We got into a situation where we went from 1 or 2 weapons that are not. They're I don't believe they are like number 1 guys, but the way Lamar plays, they turned into number 1 guys. Mm-hmm. And then it went from, we really need like a playmaker. And they said, F it, let's get 5 playmakers.
Yeah.
And now Lamar's having a hard time really deciding like where he really wants to distribute the ball.
Yeah,
right?
it's too much.
So, I don't have the answers, but we got outcoached. We got outplayed. Didn't stick to what worked.
All very true.
I knew when we started that first series, and Justice was the starting running back versus Gus. I was like,
what is going on here?
Something's not right.
They were trying to preserve Gus.
Yeah.
They wanted to.
Yeah.
The Ravens, and again, I'm not a coach, but my theory is they wanted to be aggressive in the first half, establish a lead, bring Gus out in the second half, and just burn clock and maintain. I think that was the goal.
That sounds like it, yeah, because I don't have answers, man.
And they wanted to save his legs. They were like, we're not going to use Gus because we're not going to run it. We can, with Lamar in the pass game, we can establish
I think they thought they were going to
some
come
points
out and
on the front
score
end.
points.
Yes.
And
Which, I mean, they had a shot. That second drive with the, I think it was like 4 plays and touchdown.
yeah, that was a good
They-
try. Yeah.
It looked like it was going to go that way. It looked like it was going to be the slugfest everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we were one score away from tying the game, and
Yes.
unfortunately, if Zay didn't fumble, and that comes with veteran experience of knowing I have the first down, I don't need to dive for a touchdown in double
correct.
coverage. Like that's just a maturity thing, and he's talked about it. He's like, that's just something I need to learn and work on, and it's unfortunate, but if we had have gotten that touchdown, that would have tied the game. And I'm not saying it's a domino effect, but I don't think Lamar would have then forced a lot of the plays he was making, like throwing into the triple coverage to try and force a pass interference, things like that. Because you didn't, it was clearly pass interference. And more times than not, you're going to get that call. But we had a rookie ref that wasn't going to make that call. And I mean, officiating is a variable. I don't think it's a consistent. And I think that the things that were consistent issues for the Ravens will be worked on in the offseason and will be fixed in next season. But also, I don't know what we're going to look like next season. There's a lot of pieces that are...
Yeah, we got like 12 key players on coming up free agency.
And then there's some guys that we don't even, like J.K. Dobbins is hurt. Keaton Mitchell is hurt. Keaton's on contract. J.K. Dobbins is not.
I appreciate Dobbins. I think he's got to go.
He does. I don't think we...
No offense to him. I think he's an incredible talent. I think now with Mitchell...
But if you got to make a choice, right? J.K. or Gus. Gus is a free agent too. So it's...
I'd keep
Gus stays healthy, man.
I'd keep Gus.
Gus stays healthy. Then there's Dalvin Cook. We don't know what he's going to ask for. I don't think he stays because then he's much the same player as Gus.
Yeah.
So, which one do you take? Or do you make it a 2-package deal? And then we just, have Keaton as the explosive guy. So that running back room is going to change. OBJ's not coming back, man. I think he retires. Aguilar, it's up in the air. Do we bring him back as the veteran guy? And, who knows what happens in the draft? We got some draft picks. I think we got the 30th pick, and then we've got a pick each round. So, we could add some skill players and some pieces there.
It's going to have to go to the defensive line, I feel like, though.
Yeah, because we're going to lose on the defensive side. We're going to lose Clowney.
I feel like the offensive
Van
side of
Noy.
the ball is less of the
VK's up.
problem. I think defense is going to be more of the issue.
Patrick Queen.
I think that's where the draft is going to come into play.
Yeah, I think
If I had to guess, I don't know.
If I were DeCosta, I'd probably select a edge rusher, a linebacker, and Geno. I don't think Geno Stone comes back. He's going to go get a good contract somewhere else. Like a lot of our guys going to get paydays because a lot of them were on rookie contracts.
Yeah, the only person I think comes back is Patrick Queen. I think that tandem between him and Roquan is...
That'd be good to preserve, but there's a lot of rumors that he's going to go with McDonald.
I don't. He's not going to get. He's not going to get $100 million staying with the Ravens. We just paid out Lamar. We just paid out Roquan.
He's not going to get $100 million as a
he is. He's Pro Bowl starter, AFC Championship defense. He's
probably going to get more than the Ravens can pay him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to get more,
regardless
than
if it's 100 or not.
Yeah, I see him as a good 4-year, $80 million guy, and I don't think we got that.
Probably not. Yeah. I feel like everything you said was very accurate. I think the one thing that has gone a little under the radar was the discipline on the Ravens side of the ball. It felt very chaotic to me. And I think that resulted in a lot of unnecessary penalties. And obviously, some of those penalties were questionable.
Very much
in
so.
my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
But like Ravens coaching,
Let's talk about coaching because I got some coaching takes. Go ahead.
they're dialed in enough to know that Kansas City is going to come out and play incredibly clean football.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to taunt and challenge you in ways to trick you into.
Yeah, they're gonna bait. They're
They're
gonna
gonna
bait
bait
you.
you.
yeah.
Like Kelsey's gonna bait you into things that are they're gonna draw flags. He's gonna do that.
He knows that the world is watching him.
Correct.
And you guys are going to target me
Yes.
because my girlfriend is in the stands. So I'm going to do everything I can legally to get under your skin. And he did that.
There was way too much chippiness on the Ravens side of the ball. It made no sense to me. I get it. Like you're amped up, you're worked up, 100%.
Pay him no attention. Play football.
You cannot go up to Kelsey and say anything to him.
Act
Everybody,
like he doesn't exist.
dude. Everybody on the field is watching him.
Yeah.
All the refs are watching him. Mahomes too.
They want him to have an amazing game, and
Yes.
they psyched us out and did exactly what they
And
wanted.
that big paw to the face when he got smacked in the head. Like,
come on.
dude, obviously, I don't know. Probably shouldn't be a penalty. He is running at that point. He's not in the pocket.
Right.
It's definitely questionable, but you can't smack Mahomes in the face and not get called.
But then
You gotta know.
He not only smacked him, when he went down on him, he gave him an elbow.
Yes.
So, I mean, as a Ravens fan, I like it, but you can't do it.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I love the Ravens, and I'm a huge Baltimore fan. I was super excited about the game and the fans, and everything was like really dialed up. I even appreciated the chippiness to a certain point, but
We got a game
at
to win.
times it's like you do got to dial it in. Even like Flowers and the taunting thing. Like, bro, you're losing right now. You're losing.
If you
and it's
scored, that's one thing. But
evident, it's clear taunting. You cannot get up over somebody, spin the ball,
that
flex
put
on
us
them.
from the 15 to the 25.
You know
Yeah.
that.
Now
that-
it's a 40-yard
You
field
know
goal.
And that's
that.
what
if we don't
cost.
score.
And that's what cost
And
us.
that's what cost the game.
And
Yeah, there
know?
are two times where we don't have a penalty or we get a penalty in our favor. That game's tied up. Those are two touchdowns that week. Those
Maturity.
touchdowns win the game.
yeah. Yeah. And I feel bad about the fumble. That it is what it is. I feel like the football gods. I don't know if
think
you can
that-
do anything about that.
Yeah, I don't think,
But
you know,
I've said it about Flowers before. He's a very jittery player. He's very he gets the
young.
ball. He's super excited.
20?
He tries.
Yeah, he's...
He tries super hard, which I appreciate. But I think when you're playing at that level, it's highly susceptible to those types of mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still playing on college
Like
rules.
to your point,
23.
you get to the 10
23?
and you just down it. You've got two guys coming at you full tilt down the ball.
He still plays at a very intense college level where in the pros, it's very fast, but it's very calculated.
Yeah.
Right? Where in college ball is boom, 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 boom. In the pros, it's boom, and then they set, boom, and they set, and he's still kind of churning his gears.
the pace is high.
And he hasn't really gotten his pace yet. Ultimately, I think he will be okay. He just needs to and he'll work on it all. And you know, he came into. I'd be excited too if I get to play with Lamar. You know,
100%. But I do put a little bit of that on Lamar, not to blame him. I think Lamar is an amazing talent.
you're a leader. You got to bring him down.
He has been out there long enough to know the ropes at this stage in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he's never played an AFC title game. That's fine. I get it. But you have to be able to talk to the team, like reset with them.
You've got to,
You have to bring them down because truthfully, like Mahomes is out there, not a care in the world, dude. He plays like he's stone cold.
Yeah,
No effect. He doesn't.
None of this affects him.
None of this affects him. And I don't know,
Championship pedigree.
depending on how you feel about refs, either here nor there, whatever it is, but the Kansas City plays clean, man.
They do. They play
clean.
They play Andy Reid football, and that is clean,
And when I
concise football, man.
And when I say clean, I'm not saying that Kelsey's not out there talking shit, and I'm not saying that they're not doing things.
Their execution is extremely clean.
They're intentionally doing things for sure to cause problems, but they're doing it in a way that they know they won't get caught. And the Ravens are falling into that trap of.
It was a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
We made a lot of rookie mistakes. And I'll end it with, the things that really hindered us last year and the year before that and the year before that, our team really worked on. And ultimately, each year we get better and better and better. Lamar couldn't, I'm not going to say couldn't. The offense wasn't really opening up for him. My God, he had an amazing year. Deep ball, we can work on it. But ultimately, he executed the offense with a really, really great skill and got better, right? So now you got to work with your guys. Work with your guys, get in the offseason, get some chemistry. Hope, let's hope Andrews really made a full recovery and wasn't just coming back to get his spot back.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, but I wanted to, last thing I wanted to talk about coaching real quick. John Harbaugh is a great culture guy. He is not an offensive, cerebral coach. And I really think that kind of hurt us going against someone like Andy Reid.
I don't think that's a fair knock on Harbaugh because he never came in to be that way.
No, this is a consistent.
He is supposed to bring in the best of the best to support him and to basically run like various aspects of the organization. That's always my opinion, right? Like I feel as if he looks at like the offense as the offense, like they're going to manage that. I think he oversees, but I don't ever get the sense that he's like scheming up from an offensive perspective.
That's what I need.
Tons of stuff.
That's what I need.
Like I think Moncton's doing that. And I think Harbaugh is like, you're responsible for that. That's what you're here for. You manage that.
Where Kansas City, Andy Reid is managing both sides of the ball.
Correct, but that's his style of coaching.
But he also is one of the greatest offensive minds the NFL's ever seen.
Which, like, I think Andy Reid's great. I'm not going to sit around and say that the Kansas City did an amazing job in this game. The only thing they did well, they managed the clock. They managed the clock really well. They played to their advantages and they just paper cutted us to death. It's a classic Patriots move. They just went out there and they did the bare minimum.
10 yards to
beat us. They knew exactly what it would take, and they just suffocated us. That's all that they did.
Now they're at the fucking 5.
Again, it was just
you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Clean football.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about it.
To next year, Lamar got his money. He's here for the next 5 years, 4 years now.
See what happens,
and we'll see what happens, man. But go Ravens. Ultimately we made it to the AFC Championship, which is much further than a lot of other teams. We could be living in Cleveland or Atlanta right now.
It's true.
But we live in Baltimore and we made it to the AFC Championship. So
that's right.
These are just critiques. I love my team. I love my coach. I love my guys. So let's just hope next year is just better.
It's the 24, dude.
24. What we got?
Have you seen True Detective at all?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
I haven't watched episode 3. I'd like this season. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's... All right, let me ask you a question. Do you think they will... They've always kind of went with the mystique of supernatural stuff, but it's really just come down to a serial killer. This season is really odd.
Yeah.
Where it could quite possibly be supernatural stuff. I'm not entirely sure. But I do feel like it's dragging out to a point where I don't know where to go, which is, I guess that's good TV writing. But at the same time, I do think that there's a lot of filler and not enough detective work.
Yes. So I don't disagree with you at all. The season is 6 episodes, so it's short. We're already halfway through it.
Right.
And to your point, the detective work, unraveling the mystery a little bit, has been on the slow side.
Yeah.
There hasn't, in my opinion, there hasn't been tons of like meaningful story development. It's been a lot of there's been some character development, a fair amount of that. There's been some like weird thing, like some weird like spiritual things, mental illness things, some weird supernatural things. To your point, it's all a little confusing. Like I'm not really sure what the path is, like the path forward is.
It's not defined.
I don't know if it's like X-Files all of a sudden. I don't know if it's just they're playing with my mind. Like it's a little unclear to me. And that's probably, I don't know, like we'll see whether or not it pays off. Because I'm totally caught up. So if there's 3 episodes left, at least for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch 3 tonight, and then there's
You'll
4 Sunday, right?
You're gonna 4 will be coming up on Sunday. You'll be probably even more so in the position that you are in after episode 3.
So it doesn't get any better.
It's really tough to say. I don't know. I feel as if season 1 is a masterpiece. Season 2 and season 3, I think they tried a little too hard to be too smart about it all, and it was just too much.
That's a good way to put it.
It wasn't it didn't have the fun, creepy, like atmospheric, like there's a lot of those like elements that were just kind of stripped out of 2 and 3, and I felt like they were
3 was like a time.
Yeah,
piece.
they were trying to make like the first one was like the second one was like a crime thing that they were trying to get going.
2 was like Crash, but like
it was just very odd. They were trying to be, I think, too smart about it. And then this one, not to like discredit anybody that's involved in it, but I feel like they're trying to kind of go the other direction with it, and everything just kind of feels like we have this creepy atmosphere. We're going to do a couple of spooky things. They may or may not mean anything. I don't really know, but it is kind of creepy. So we're going to do it regardless. It feels, I don't want to say stupid, like that's not the right word for it, but the intelligence of like everything behind the scenes, the deeper layers has yet to be established. And I'm kind of waiting for that. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I'm hoping that it will.
I will say it's shot very well.
TBD.
And the elements of I don't want to say horror, but I guess it is horror, are very prominent in it. And I don't know if they're trying to desensitize you or overstimulate you in some of these, like the end of episode 2, where Jodie Foster goes back to the crime scene, and they're starting to thaw out. Yeah. And they're like talking, but then like they're thawing out and the guy's leg kind of goes like, shh. Yeah. You know, like things like that where it can be a jump scare if you're not prepared for it. But I'm also kind of like, what was the point of that? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So I would say I'm so on True Detective season 4. It remains to be seen.
I'm enjoying it. I don't know what to make of it yet.
I'm enjoying it. I would say I'm not saying that I wouldn't enjoy it. I think it's so. I think the acting is fine. I think the writing is fine. I've not seen anything so far that has wowed me. Like I think
there we go.
I'm not trying to discredit the acting either. Like I think it's fine. There's nothing about it that's iconic.
No.
Like Matthew McConaughey in True Detective season 1 is iconic.
Him and
that
Woody?
role is forever will be remembered. It's just.
Don't ever talk to me and say Matthew McConaughey doesn't have range. Because True
crazy.
Detective season 1, he sets the bar like really, really high. Even down to how he smokes his cigarettes.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
that type of thing is not happening in this season. But
no, I like Jodie though.
I'm not mad at the direction that they're going in.
I think
it remains to be seen whether.
I don't know if she, the young lady that plays Detective Navarro, I don't know if she's actually. I don't know. Would Alaskans be indigenous people? I'm not sure.
It depends.
Speak up into the mic.
Would yeah, it's weird, right? No. Would Alaskans be indigenous people?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about somebody who has an Alaska driver's license, maybe not.
Okay.
But like someone who is from Alaska for family,
right?
Yeah,
whatever. But she's doing an amazing job.
There are indigenous people groups that are from Alaska.
Yeah, she's doing an amazing job. Her story is kind of weird, but we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I'll bring this up a little.
Yeah, take your time, dude. And also, you can adjust your chair, by the way.
Do I look low?
So on the on your right side, that's lower. But if you sit up a little bit,
there we go.
You can shoot up.
There we go. Oh, I'm gonna shoot down.
Dude. Go low.
Yeah, go low.
Live your life.
Little John.
All right.
Crazy.
I feel
Let's
good.
talk about this Morris.
Yeah.
Rutherglen. I'm
enjoying it.
Enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's great.
It has
no.
Not for you.
No.
It is a little. I mean, it is a little interesting. There's a few.
Flavor notes in there.
I wasn't going to say flavor notes. There are a few things that I've had that are kind of similar to this. There's a Red Fox makes a whiskey that kind of reminds me of this a little bit. There are some flavor notes in here which I get could be a little off-putting.
It tastes kind of like a Scotch.
Yes, it does.
I mean, that's what it's in.
It does.
It's a
single malt.
It's a malted whiskey.
Yeah,
It's in the vein of a Scotch, and I'm already not a big Scotch guy. And it tastes like smoky juice, and I'm not like
it is sweet.
Smoky juice.
All right, so here's some tasting notes on the front of the bottle. Let's get into this real quick. So, a prize-winning fortified wine barrels impart unrivaled flavors of intense dried fruit with hints of spice and marzipan for a supremely rich depth of character. Yes, I feel as if that is more or less accurate. I would put it in that space. The marzipan and the fruit thing sticks with me because I would say it's a little sweeter. It does taste a little bit more like a Scotch.
Sweet, full, and Scotchy. Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it. I don't know if I can sit here and crush the bottle.
Yeah,
I think the chill helps. Thanks, Josh.
The chill is
The
nice.
town, yeah. I mean, why not? I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
The town of Rutherglen, Victoria, is named after the same town outside Glasgow in Scotland.
All right.
So
it's from Scotch.
Scotch.
Talk to me, dude.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, so on to a more pressing question.
Indeed.
I've been wondering this all week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is aviation talk.
Yeah.
Aviation corner.
More aviation talk.
Yep. Yes, it's still on the list.
Someone
Why
told me they
not-
really enjoyed your aviation segment last week. So
Why
said that.
not parachutes underneath the seat? I understand that a lot of people that do parachuting are very much of the you've got to have a certain amount of hours and you got to be a professional and you can't do it alone or whatever. But it's better than not having one.
Nah, give me that shit.
Am I right? Like I get
Sure.
it. I might not do it right, but what's the alternative?
Let me give you this because this is in the same vein. The Cirrus ballistic or airframe parachute system.
Oh, so the whole plane is going to be parachuted.
Oh, plane has a chute. Okay.
Correct. So when shit hits the fan,
Wow.
the parachute just jumps out and that boy saves you.
And your plane is just
Yeah.
dangling from a parachute.
What?
Yeah.
Why is this not a thing?
Let's see. There's a
Isn't
video.
that what was in the Dark Knight?
There was a video.
No.
What?
They fly over the plane in the Dark Knight and then they like puncture
that's
holes into
right,
the jet
yeah.
beneath them and then they like lift it up and they just commandeer it. Is this an example?
This
that
is
a plane?
This is an aircraft.
so they're
right?
dropping, but that's a tiny plane.
Sure, no, understood. But
I think
you
that's a great
mentioned
idea,
parachute in aviation. This is what I go to. Is it feasible on a huge airliner? Probably not. But it is an example of someone using a parachute on a plane.
Yes. Okay. So to your point on this front, we were talking algorithms earlier. I did see a video of somebody who was talking about their like little personal jet, private jet. It was like the size of like a minivan, and it had something like this. It had a parachute system, and they talked about it briefly. I don't know why I was served the video, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, damn, so you can like, just parachute that whole thing down.
That's right.
This is really all coming together for me. But still, Southwest isn't doing that. So why not the parachutes under the seat? Any thoughts on that? Is it a cost thing? I mean, I understand. I get it. It would be chaos. Plane is going down, however many hundreds of people all trying to, rip the cord at the same time. But still, if you save 10, it's better than none.
Just build them into the seats.
It's funny to me that you go through every reason why it wouldn't work and then go, so why not do this?
Yeah.
Ejectocito, cuz.
I'm just wondering.
Ejectocito.
Yeah, but like, why not even give it the option?
Sure. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Like expense. How do you know that parachute is like you got to test it? You got to unwrap it every once, unpack it.
They can't even get the doors right, man.
That is.
They
Also
can't.
No, I get that. That's
The doors.
100%. I'm just
There is
saying
it's
it's
a
never
barrier
been
to
tested,
admission.
never been tried.
Sure.
Do the pilots have parachutes?
No.
Nobody on the
No
plane
one has a parachute.
Can you bring a parachute with you on a plane?
I don't know if there's rules against that. Actually,
Like if
I strapped up
could I buy one? Can you get a parachute on
and
Amazon?
then just walked into the
And can
my
I bring
flight?
one with me on
Well,
Southwest?
So here's the. I mean, maybe you could.
I don't know if you get it through TSA.
That's my biggest thing.
It's a tarp.
Because if because of DB Cooper back in the 70s, 80s, 70s.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Yeah, because he asked for a parachute. He hijacked the plane,
But he
said
didn't
you will
bring it.
land it. He didn't bring
But
it
he
with him.
didn't bring it with him.
Sure, but if he hijacked a plane and then jumped out with a parachute and $50,000, are they going to let you bring another parachute?
I
on
don't
board?
know. Does it
Well,
say? Does TSA say? Can you bring a parachute on a plane? This has to be
Yes, you
documented.
can. You may transport parachutes either with or
Does it have to
without
be
automatic
checked?
activation devices in
In
carry-on
carry-on.
or checked bags.
Can I wear it on my person?
Yeah, you can
If you
bring
can put it on your
with
I
you.
do
carry-on.
love that they've actually got a page for it.
Oh, this
Yes
is,
and
this
yes
is
on checked
TSA.gov.
bags,
Yeah.
dude.
That's right.
Let's go. Parachutes for everybody.
Let's just buy like a BS ticket to like Delaware and just see if we can get parachutes through and wear them all the way through, and we just fly to Delaware and drive back.
I think we know.
But I just want to do it.
Okay,
That's what I do.
I'm not gonna stop you.
Fly to Detroit. It's only
I want to wear the entire.
The search for
getup,
parachutes on Amazon just returns those things you used in gym class in elementary school.
where you play like under it. It's not like a real.
That's
parachute.
pretty big, though. It could work.
It could work. You just got to hold on tight.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And if you get ripped out of there unexpectedly, what are you doing? Do you already have it? You just have to hold it?
What's the average cost of a parachute?
like a real.
What's a mediocre parachute cost? We're not professionals here. This is a one-time thing.
It's tricky. It's going to take me a minute.
All right.
Take your time. Jesus
Have you been
Christ.
skydiving?
Hell no, dude.
Oh, skydiving gear costs
What
in a
compelled you?
range between 3 to
It wasn't my choice.
14,000
3?
to 14,000. It's a wide range.
$13,000.
Yeah, you better. It's like jumping out the plane with a car.
Yeah.
You know, when I worked for Red Bull, they took us skydiving once.
For what?
Oh, team
Just for
building
fun?
exercise. Yeah.
They
Just,
take insurance policies out on you?
I had to sign mad documents. I didn't know what I was signing.
Be hilarious if Red Bull took insurance policies out on all their employees and then was like, let's go
Let's go
skydiving, baby.
Boom, it crashes.
Splat.
But
Hell yeah.
yeah. But like $2,000
This is from shootingstar.com.
shooting. CHUTING.
$2,000 though to have a shot in
just to survive.
a midair catastrophe.
Fuck you guys.
Truth. Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
Listen, there would be no greater feeling.
To know that I'm
To know that my purchase was worth it.
Bro, turbulence starts to set in. You just perk up,
You got your hand on the cord.
start looking at the flight attendants, like giving them signals.
But then who's gonna hit the door?
You're going to do it.
You sit near the door.
It's a
every
giant
time.
lever. It's not complicated.
No, let me explain something to you.
Correct me
If
if I'm
I
wrong.
have a parachute and this plane's going down and they're stressing, don't
I'm
open
hitting
this
the
door.
Okay.
I'm opening the door.
Yeah, we're opening
no
the door,
questions
baby.
asked.
We're
No
opening
questions asked.
the door.
But I think like someone like
If you sat in the exit seat, you can control your own destiny on this.
every time. Every time.
Every time. Hit the slide for fun on the way out.
Just see what happens.
So I don't know if you saw this because I don't keep track of this. I don't know. I just for
Aviation
whatever reason I
disasters?
just don't. Oh, I do keep track of aviation disasters.
All right.
This one I'm not specifically
Like
tracking.
Josh's algorithm every time he wakes up in the morning is just plane crash, plane
Dude,
crash,
I'll
plane
tell you, my
crash.
YouTube suggestions are off the fucking wall, and it changes almost daily. It's too much.
Let's just see.
Fox Business has an article 2 days ago.
We
Now, I
already started
understand
wrong,
that.
Fox
No, I
Business.
understand that. It's just the first one I clicked. We got it. Anyway, that due to an absence of markings on the door plug, Boeing and other industry officials believe that employees of the plane maker failed to even install the bolts
Oh, I read this.
in that aircraft.
I read this. There weren't bolts.
Because that was the big thing originally because they couldn't find them. They found the door, they found that iPhone, they found that kid's shirt.
Because those bolts would have like hit somewhere.
They would have
A
been
car,
somewhere.
a person, somewhere.
Right.
Front yard, my roof. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. So now the
wish.
thought is that maybe that aircraft, they neglected to put them back in after they took them out to remove the door plug in installation.
what did I say last week? Somebody walked past that door and was like, it's all right. It's
good.
It's good. Let's go.
Which that aircraft survived quite a long time without bolts securing its door plug.
I mean, all right, Josh, what's the cruising altitude?
Well, the door blew out at 16,000 feet, but I think the Max 9 is rated to 40,000 feet.
But it had been flying at 40,000.
Yeah, it's just constantly
exactly,
flying
right.
at 40,000
It's not like
feet.
somebody took the bolts out prior to this flight.
It's
Right.
eventually going to pop
Which
off.
is what I'm saying. It's
if there's no
impressive.
bolts in it.
It's impressive that it had survived
This long.
that long. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, the parachute for the whole plane.
It's cool.
That's
I
really
kinda
got
like
my.
that.
It's got my
Yeah.
mind kind of.
It's kind of a good
It's got the
idea.
gears turning. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like I've seen that in like fictional movies where the plane is like going to crash and then like.
The truth is, for like a plane that size, the air, like the
The size of
the
the parachute.
size of the
yeah.
parachute would have to be so massive. It'd probably take up a third of the plane.
Yep.
I don't care. Put it on there.
I know you don't care,
Put it on there.
but
I need to work. Yo, put it on there.
the price of the,
I just don't understand the price. Yeah,
You're gonna pay for it.
The price of saving lives. You know what I mean?
yeah, but they're looking at it. So here's the hard truth is they're looking at it like how many lives are we going to lose?
How many?
Generally speaking, versus cost. Like they would rather lose a plane every decade than outfit every plane with parachutes.
What's the cost versus losing a plane? Then
I'll tell you what, the airlines are 100% putting a dollar amount on every person on the plane. They're not thinking of this like, oh man, every life is priceless.
my
not how this works.
$290 one way.
Yeah, you're worth $290 to
That's
the airline. Yeah.
This is very much in my mind like the Ford Pinto. I don't know. It's like a throwback, really old, right? Where
Yeah.
Ford determined that it would be cheaper to just pay off victims
Yes.
of the gas tank
Then
issue
then
to
go
fix
through
it.
a recall. Yeah.
Yeah, a memo released after the investigation said that they had already analyzed the cost. It would be about $121 million to recall the affected vehicles. However, the cost to pay off victims would
If
be
it
50.
happens.
Correct. So they decided to not issue the recall and just pay out victims as accidents occurred. So, kind of what Taylor's saying, put a parachute in there. They're not really looking for, to save people necessarily. They're looking to minimize cost.
All right. Generally, right, airplanes are safe.
Yes.
I don't fear for any of us if you say, I got to catch a flight, right? I just expect to hear from you at some point when you land or whatever.
The vehicle itself
Right,
is
yeah.
relatively safe.
Exactly.
The activity is not.
That, that's when you include the variables. So I do not expect for the FAA to say, yeah, we're going to just re-outfit, our entire industry because then you gotta redo your entire infrastructure of safety. So
That would be as dumb as like making
Yeah.
everybody that goes through the airport take their shoes off and their belt off and their laptop out of their bag.
Yeah,
that
but
would be outrageously
They can't charge
stupid.
you $750 per ticket.
I mean,
if we
that's
stop.
I mean, that's because steel beams can burn by jet fuel. Duh.
Are we doing this right now, guys? we talking trout? We talking the towers?
all just to create TSA.
So that aircraft that suffered the issue was delivered December 31st,
Of
23.
Uh-oh.
Its first flight was 15 October.
damn, this is a brand new plane.
It
for the most
was,
part.
it was
Just
a
came off
brand
the
new
assembly
plane.
line.
This was a fresh
It
paint,
had
not even dried.
159 flights.
Which is nothing. That's nothing.
That is nothing. Yes.
The plane you're on has already probably done 20 flights in 2 days. Probably.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. And then
So maybe it's par for the course that it would pop out so quickly. Who knows? I
know.
feel like
that's what she said.
good call on that one.
I got
Oh
it.
my
I
god!
got it.
All right, Isaiah, do you have anything interesting for us? I've tasked you again with more.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, man, not much today.
We can go back to the list too, but I always like to
I
give
do
everybody
have
a
a good
chance.
question
How much
for you
time we
guys.
All right, let's go.
As you guys
Yeah,
have
Tom.
probably seen on Netflix, the Griselda Blanco series is out.
The what?
Griselda Blanco?
I watched 15 minutes of the first
Yes,
episode.
Yes. I saw I saw it on Netflix, but
So it got me
Fill me
wondering, what do you guys think the greatest gangster movies or shows are?
Oh, wow.
this is a
the-
gangster movie. I've not
Gangster
seen it. I don't know anything about it.
And, that's my genre, man.
That's your genre?
That's my genre.
Gangster movies.
Gangsters. Yeah. Love it. Absolutely.
Well, take it away.
Godfather.
Take it away. What's the best one of all time?
Godfather. Well, take that back. We'll start with Scarface.
Really?
Godfather 2. Right.
Okay.
I just kind of, those are like the holy grail of like, of what you would think like a gangster movie is. But it is also very, what do you call it? It's very intentional and specific about the culture that's in it. Mm-hmm. But then you get in the shows, and then, you know, I just, you know, The Wire, and then Sopranos.
The greatest of all time, man. I need you to pick.
It's gotta be Godfather 2. And Scarface are kind of like right there, man.
I think Scarface being number 2 is not laughable, but I don't think
it's a okay.
This is
I'll
a
take
no
this
for
back.
Scarface
I don't
over here.
think it's a great movie. I think
It's iconic, though.
It's iconic. I look at Scarface
We all
much
know.
how I look at Star Wars. Right? Star Wars movies are not great, but it created the
True.
archetype for a genre.
Somebody had to say it.
I feel like Scarface kind of does the same thing. It creates the archetype for a genre, and it kind of sits there as just one of the greats. It's not a great movie.
Got you. Because I feel like for me, yes, the Godfather trilogy is there, but it's like Godfather 2, definitely.
That's
And
the
Good-
one.
and
Yeah.
Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is my favorite. My
Right.
favorite gangster movie
I mean,
of all time.
I don't think there's a definitive answer to your question because there are so many great ones. Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
There's just so many great ones. Reservoir Dogs is one that just really sticks out. Casino. What was the one? The Irishman.
The Irishman was very good.
The Departed.
The Departed.
Departed.
I love. I can sit. My wife hates it. She's like, oh yeah, this is your, you know, and this is
what
your
you
genre.
like.
This is
This
what
is
you
what
like.
you like.
I'll sit with you and do it. And it's you know, there's just a lot of. You need this. Please. There's a. Absolutely. There's a lot of good ones, and I don't think there's a definitive answer.
And
I can just kind of shoot out.
I mean,
my favorites.
even if you take it, I know we don't think of these movies as kind of these movies, but like American Gangster is up there.
I was gonna say that as like my 5. but
New
then I
Jack
kinda
City.
got-
New Jack City is up there.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these are intentional in the culture that they put in. So you kind of gotta find what your what kind of speaks to you more, right? I think I said this on like one of our earlier shows that my dad allowed me to watch New Jack City when I was like 5, and it's one of the first movies I ever remember, and it was a very interesting time because I was watching a movie for the first time, seeing cultural elements in it that I could understand that I knew I was not supposed to be seeing on the TV. So, but yeah, I just kind of think, I mean, you can ask that question with like any genre, but there's so many great ones. I love American Gangster, New Jack City, Juice,
Carlito's
Way, you know, there's so many different underlying tones that lead into so many different cultures.
Menace to Society is
Yeah, they're all boys in the hood.
Yeah.
That gangster genre is just probably the more
it's the most consistent too.
it is the more consistent and on the nose genre that speaks to cultural elements that involve those people.
Yeah.
More true than any other genre.
Facts.
Except what's the movie? What's the Blackening? Except the Blackening, which
That
is
was great. Yeah,
right.
that was good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, which is a horror movie, but
I was going to say, is that a gangster movie?
nah, it's a horror movie.
So I
but
thought.
it speaks to the elements of the culture that would happen
I
in
got
that
you,
movie.
I got
know
you,
what
I
mean?
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone in that movie thinks out. Everyone in that movie should think.
Right. So yeah,
So your final film.
yeah. My final all-time gangster flick,
Yeah, having had this dialogue.
probably Departed.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably my
So you go from
No, you said what are like the top, and then my favorite is probably
Okay.
The Departed.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And then, you can sprinkle a few in there, but like the one I can watch like over and over, New Jack City and The Departed. Yeah. You? You're not a big gangster flick guy.
I'm not, but Boardwalk Empire is probably my favorite show of all time.
Really?
Golly.
I think Boardwalk
That's a good
Empire
one.
is my favorite show, period, ever.
I think
And that kind of falls into that space.
I
think a little bit.
What was really good about Boardwalk Empire was, I don't know if it was like season like 3 or 4 when they incorporated Al Capone.
Yeah.
Because that gave it validity. Like they're
Yes.
telling a true story. Because I don't think people understood that this is real. Right? Because then they're like, Nucky Barnes. And then people are like, oh, look, Nucky Barnes, whatever. And then Al Capone shows up. And they're like, no. This is, we're taking some liberties, but this is like a real thing.
Yeah, all the characters were real to some
Yeah,
extent.
To some, yeah.
But not necessarily as like, built out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more built out in the show than they were in real life, perhaps. But anyway,
What we got?
yeah. So that's what that's my favorite. I don't know what's the most important, but that's my favorite. You watched the Dave Chappelle special. I watched that too. That was controversial yet again. Do you agree?
I just think at this point he's just doing it on purpose, like a kid that pulls the fire.
alarm.
Do you find it amusing still? Like, do you enjoy his specials, or do you think that they have kind of transcended away from stand-up a little bit?
I think his stand-up has changed in a way. He's gone more, we talk about this all the time, he's gone more into like a storytelling element.
Yes.
And then
it's
kind of
very
incorporating
narrative.
his jokes into the element.
Yeah.
I will say that first joke about a knife identifying itself as a gun to then make fun of what he's making fun of is genius comedy, and I do think he kind of gets a bad rap for it. I have some takes. I'm not gonna be that guy and like get our show canceled, but I thought that was in the realm of under the guise of comedy. I thought that was an awesome joke. Now, being sensitive about it, you can kind of take what you want from that. But all in all, I don't think it was like 5 stars.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because I enjoyed Dave Chappelle. I'll say that.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think it's moved away from stand-up a little bit, and it feels more like theater is not the right word.
It's what is it?
It's more of like just like a storytelling. Like it's very narrative. It feels to me though.
He's creating a new genre for stand-up kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is something that's pretty remarkable. I am probably not one of the groups that he's offending, most likely. So I don't know. I feel like I don't personally I don't take a lot of offense to the jokes. I feel like it's a comedian. He's up here to say
and he's
these
making
things.
jokes.
That's why we showed up. That's why we're watching this. That's what we're here for.
And
right?
I don't feel like anyone's off limits when you're making jokes.
100%. So I don't get that piece of it when everybody feels like it's so controversial.
angry.
I don't understand any of that. But I do, when I watch his stand-up or his specials lately, I do feel like there is something happening. Like it's a different type of stand-up.
I'm listening to a narrated story rather than I'm listening to stand-up.
It's something different. And it's very cool. And I really, really enjoy it.
It
That's what I'm trying to get
It's
at,
very similar
but-
to what you get from when people do solo podcasts,
Yes.
and what you get from when people do it gives me the same vibe as what you get when people do true crime podcasts.
That's
when
interesting.
when it's good, because
That's
you get
interesting.
very good narrative with very good commentary.
You know what this genre of kind of what he's doing,
It's philosophy.
Kevin Hart has kind of started doing
is
it
kind of like
a little bit.
philosophy a little bit.
Yeah, philosophy. John Leguizamo had an HBO stand-up I want to say like 15, 20 years ago,
A while ago, baby.
where he kind of defined what this is. And it wasn't like stand-up. It was more like a Broadway one-man show.
Yeah.
And he was like telling jokes, but then telling the story. Then he had his moments. and I can't remember the name of it, but
Freak in '98.
Yep. That's it. And now you're kind of seeing comedians kind of do the same thing. What's up?
Do you remember when Mike Tyson did his one-man show?
There are a lot of people doing these one-man shows.
And that's exactly what Chappelle's
He's moved it more into a one-man...
Reminds me of.
One-man atmospheric show than stand-up comedy. And I don't necessarily want to label it as stand-up. I think of stand-up comedy, I think of, 9 to 12 minutes, slapstick jokes, boom, 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 and then they're done. Chris Rock kind of changed the genre. Chris Rock, Martin, these guys like back in the day. What's my man's name? Older white guy, smokes all the weed. Where they were, all right, we're getting these hour specials and we're just going to talk. We're going to talk, we're going to tell stories, I'm going to make jokes that relate to the stories. I'm going to be vulnerable, I'm going to be defensive, I'm going to be offensive, and at the same time, it's going to encapsulate everything that I'm trying to say. And we're going to get way more than that. Yo.
You talking about Tommy Chong? Who are you talking about?
God, it'll come to me. I'm sorry. It's literally on the tip of my tongue, and I can see him, and I can't. It'll come back.
That's
to me.
fine.
He had long hair.
Yes.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
You do. It's right there, isn't it?
It's right there too.
I can't get it.
It's right
It's
there
right.
too.
I cannot get it, and I.
Damn it. That sucks.
It's Willie Nelson.
No.
No, he's
Definitely
a
not
musician.
Willie Nelson.
It's not Willie
Absolutely
Nelson.
Not. Absolutely not.
But he looks like they're like around the same age.
Yeah, long hair,
Yeah.
glasses.
Come on, you got it, Josh.
No.
You got it.
The glasses threw me off because I was going to say George Carlin.
No, he's younger than that.
Younger
he
than
died.
that.
He died.
George Carlin's dead, yes.
No. He
guy's
died
dead.
young. He died young though. He died young.
We're going to add to the Google search. Older white guy smoked
No,
weed.
not old. He's not old. He died young.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a young guy.
All right.
But
Well,
we'll get
that
there.
makes it a much worse
Much
Google
harder.
search because now I'm searching a white guy smoke weed.
Old white guy that died.
No. Just search young. Search young white, like young comedian dies. Young comedian dead or
Mitch
something.
Hedberg?
Yes. There it is.
I stayed at a hotel last night. For privacy reasons, I cannot tell you the hotel, but I can say that 2 trees were involved.
Yes.
There you go. There
we
it
go.
is.
There we go. I had it.
All right,
So,
baby.
yeah.
Vision Pro.
Awesome
Awesome what?
device.
Awesome headset.
Awesome headset. I haven't had the opportunity
You gonna wear a
to
headset?
try one yet. I said I wanted to.
Has anybody in here done VR? The
Yes.
headsets?
Yeah, just
Done
briefly.
that?
Yeah, nothing crazy. I haven't worked in it.
Yeah. I think that's for me probably the coolest function. I mean, the immersive movies and TV, that's the coolest. But second coolest is having your screens
Right there.
right there, no matter where you are.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to. We talked about it when it was first announced. I don't know if I want to be fully immersed just because I have to do a lot of multitasking. But there are some times I would like to be fully immersed. Maybe gaming.
Yes, but here's the thing. You can't connect anything to it.
That's outside of the Apple ecosystem.
Correct. No. You can't
At all?
You can't plug into it. It's not like you can plug your
No, you can't
PlayStation
plug
5
into
into
it.
it.
Yeah, that's okay. But you can use your AirPods.
Yes, but as far as the gaming thing is considered, you are limited to the
that's what I don't
capability
like.
of the headset.
Yes.
Imagine hooking that to your PS5 and
That's
that
what
being
I'm
your monitor.
saying.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Call of Duty?
Yes.
Oh,
But at the same point, though, didn't they just open up it's a PlayStation's app, their remote play app that you could, prior to a few days ago, you could only do it in a web browser on iOS, and now they allowed it in the app. I can't remember what the categories. There's one app that you can play however many
You
games.
can stream stuff to it. Yeah.
Right, so it's a new, Apple's now just allowing it on the phone, so is it only a matter of time until it comes
of
to
course.
Vision
They got
Pro?
Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
Only a
probably.
matter of
I mean,
time.
I'm sure at some point it'll show up.
Yeah.
Wait till the devs get their hands on Apple Arcade and the Vision Pro.
I think the first gen is going to be real rough.
Yes.
I called it an expensive. You called it an expensive dev kit.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I still. Yeah, somebody did. Yeah. But I agree. I totally agree with that.
I think it is. Much like when the iPhone first came out, there were limited amount of apps.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing because there were no buttons. this is
There
amazing.
were really no app. There's no app store.
There's no app store. There was really no apps. And then, boom, app store releases. And now devs are like, oh, let's take advantage of all of these capabilities. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Vision Pro. Like right now, it's just kind of like, it's
and
a
you
release.
see, like Netflix said that they're not going to develop an app for it, at
YouTube,
least initially.
Netflix.
Yeah.
But the phone never got cheaper.
No,
The
it did
phone
not.
definitely
If anything,
did
got
get
it more.
cheaper. The first gen phone, they cut the price 3 months in. It was
No.
$800, and they took $400 or $300 off of it.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that's what the phones cost now. So the idea of the headsets getting cheaper, I don't think is going to happen.
It may come a dumbed down version.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll get.
I think
a
they
lesser
will be
version.
the same price forever. I think maybe you get like a $299, like $2,999, whatever, $3,000 version. Maybe. But I don't foresee how it's possible that the next generation is going to be that much cheaper. Even if you decided to get rid of the front screen or whatever, like the technology in there has to
Eyesight.
get.
That's called eyesight.
Sure.
You know, because they've called many other things that are totally different eyesight.
I mean, even if they got rid of
Stupid.
it,
Camera that
so
just
stupid.
it's not like the crap that's in there is going to get cheaper.
But I think it will. Like
How so?
OLED screens have come down significantly in price.
Yeah, but my iPhone hasn't.
Yeah, well, that's because.
They just
I mean,
put
that's fair.
My iPhone is
That's
still
Tell me I'm
totally
wrong.
fair. That's totally
Yeah.
fair.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're totally right.
The iPhone has done nothing but go up in price. I
Yes.
realize that there are S versions or whatever SE versions that they
I don't want
refresh
that.
every 4 years,
I don't want that.
and the technology's like a decade old. I understand that.
I want the top
But
of the
I'm
line
saying,
phone.
for the
It's
most
gonna
part,
cost me
the
almost
phones-
$2,000 every time.
Get more expensive every year,
That's all right. Yeah, that's
even
true.
though the
You're right.
technology's getting better.
You're right.
I think the idea of there ever being a Vision Pro.
You know, hold
that's
on though.
not-
No, I'm going to argue this because original iPhone was $800 and it was carrier locked.
And it was
Yes.
4 gigs.
3G went down to $199, $299. Still was carrier locked. And I understand that that's because it was subsidized.
Yeah.
But the first one was not subsidized and was still carrier locked.
You're saying that the second gen iPhone, the 3G, was $199.
It was. Because it was subsidized. You had to buy it with the carrier
No, I get
and then
that.
stay with them for
Right, but my
however long.
point is the first gen was also carrier locked. You had the same restrictions, but the carrier didn't chip
But
anything
there was
in
only
for
one
you.
carrier, right? It was AT&T.
AT&T at the time, right?
When 3G came out, it was then released to Verizon.
No, Verizon didn't come until 4.
The question is, what was the value in the subsidized cost to the carrier? And then if you extrapolated that, like, what was an unlocked 3G worth if you just bought one? Hypothetically, if it existed. I know that didn't, but I'm just saying. If you took the payments out of the carrier subsidy and you applied it back to the phone,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
less than $800 or is it more than $800?
Couldn't tell you that.
I bet you it's more than $800.
How many times did you jailbreak my 3G, Joe?
Many, many times.
Bro. Could have
Yeah,
ran a shop out of the Apple
jail-
Store.
I know we definitely could have done. There had to be people
All right,
doing
so
that.
nobody here is getting a Vision Pro.
Not the first gen.
a hard-
I'm waiting until they
a
drop
hard-
the price, which
a
they may never
hard
do.
pass.
$3,500.
No, dude.
No, thanks.
Eventually, it'll become cool enough that you maybe would pony up.
Not for game. Not for. I can't hook anything to it. I mean, porn would be fun every once in a while, and then maybe, like, looking, at whatever I could pinch and like. But after a while, it's just gonna collect dust.
Whatever I could pinch.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
listen,
just
it's
pinch
gonna
and
be
shit.
it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be a
pull
great
stuff-
TV experience. It's
yeah.
gonna be a great TV experience, but is it worth $3,500 for you to watch TV in a cool way?
Not for me.
I don't know.
Personally, I got to see some.
I don't know.
Some groundbreaking
Yeah,
ways to use it.
you can go into the Apple Store and try this puppy on though.
You got to make a reservation.
Yeah, all right.
I don't want to try.
I mean, maybe you go give it a shot.
Yeah. I think. I mean,
I just
if we
wanna
could-
see it.
If we could get try-on reservations around the same time, I think that might be a cool little outing.
We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
But
with
they
that.
haven't even opened the bookings yet for that.
so just to take us back a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Let's head on back, baby.
The
This
3G.
is a 3G. Yeah.
Yeah. The original full price, not the subsidized price,
Yeah, let's go.
was about $1,250.
Damn, there we go.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, to
But
Taylor's
we got
point-
50% off, right?
To Taylor's
at that
point.
time.
I don't know. It wasn't working on Apple.
The
at that time.
iPhone,
I don't-
just never.
But I
gone
don't
down
know
in
if that's
price.
to Taylor's point, because I can get an iPhone 15. What is it 15 right now? What is the regular 15 cost?
$12.50.
No, it does not.
The regular one.
No,
Dude,
that's a
$8.99?
pro.
Oh.
That's pro.
$8.99. I'm gonna
But
stand
you
on
also
it.
got to think about it like this: there were no other versions of iPhone when the 3G
When it
came
was
out.
just
What's
that.
the
It was the
cheapest? What's the cheapest 15? No, it's not say
I'm
pro.
waiting for
No
the damn.
pros,
I'm waiting for the fucking thing to load.
No
the,
pros.
the animation.
I guess. Although,
$7.99.
I was close.
okay, so what's the cheapest Pro? It's a Vision Pro. So what's the cheapest iPhone Pro?
All right, cheapest iPhone.
$9.99.
Cheapest iPhone Pro is $9.99.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you get a Vision at some point.
iPhone Vision. I mean,
iPhone
Apple
or
Vision.
Apple Vision, because I think again, I mean,
Limited capabilities.
The phone
I can
prices,
just see
to my
notifications.
point, have more or less not really come down
Or
all that
Vision
much.
Lite or something
I get
like
it. There
that.
are some older versions that are cheaper, maybe, and of course,
Vision
in
Air.
4 years, Vision Pro is going to be worth nothing. So you'll be able to pick one
Well,
up.
okay. So let's say Vision Pro is fully immersive.
Vision Pro
immersive,
6
right?
is going to be worth $4,000.
What capabilities can you strip down from a Vision Pro to sell at a more reasonable consumer market price?
An Apple licensed Oculus.
What?
Basically, an Apple licensed Oculus.
Well, I can't speak to the technology pieces of it. I don't know about that. You're saying you want to license it to Oculus?
No, I'm just saying. Basically, it would do if we're going to
It
dumb
would
it down.
be what an Oculus
It would be
is.
what an Oculus is.
Got you. I think you could get rid of all of the, all the bullshit on the front of it. I don't know if any of that's necessary. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the materials cost. I'm not sure. Maybe the
Yeah, I
materials,
don't know
you could
what-
strip back on that a little bit. Although everybody says it's super heavy. So
And all of those sensors
I don't know.
really make up the experience. And I don't know if you can really dumb that down. I mean, technology changes at a
Mm-hmm.
rapid pace every 2 years.
although I wonder if something was 100% plastic. I mean, for the most part, let's just say.
God bless
You
the
know what I'm
turtles.
saying? I'm using plastic like a general term.
Right.
Plastics, if
Yes.
you will. Would it would be lighter, right?
Yes.
Like we
Yeah,
took a look,
presumably.
iPhone 1 versus 3G went from aluminum to plastic, way lighter.
Apple wants you
So-
to feel like you're paying money for something.
No, I understand, but I'm saying if you just stopped,
Stop doing
That-
it. Oh, if they just made it out of straight plastic,
yeah,
that joint
it
would be
would be
$600.
it would be lighter though, right?
Yeah, it'd be lighter.
Yeah.
In theory,
But
which
then
would
in
be more
theory-
comfortable.
But then you drop it.
I think plastic holds up better than aluminum does.
You got to remember though, there's like 28 cameras in this thing.
A lot of cameras,
That's a lot of weight.
sensors. It's
No, I
speakers
understand.
on the bottom,
but
like-
the aluminum frame and all
Yeah, it
that
doesn't help.
glass and
Yeah,
all that
certainly
bullshit that's
doesn't
on the
help.
front. What I'm saying is if it was just a plastic across the front,
Yes. Yes.
it's got to be way lighter. I know there's a lot of cameras in there.
just
Or
imagine,
even even if you use a different type of glass on the front.
Yes.
So
Or
use a
no
different-
glass at all.
Yes, because if you don't have a screen, if you
On
don't
the
have
front,
eyesight, you
I
don't
don't
need
need
glass.
that. Yeah, I don't
Right.
feel like you,
Right. Which that screen is how much what were we talking about the replacement cost was? $800 for that front glass? Out of warranty?
because you walked into a wall trying to look at a spreadsheet while you were.
Yeah, the glass replacement I think
Yeah.
is 800 and the out of warranty full unit is 2500.
Nah, man. What's the Apple Care? $10 a month? $20?
The Apple Care is $600 with a $200 or $300 deductible.
That's not bad for a $3,500.
Yeah, for $3,500.
That's not bad at all.
Don't drop it.
It's gonna get dropped. It's
Don't
gonna get
drop it.
sat on.
It's
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
ran into walls.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like your arms would go into a wall first.
I
though.
mean, probably not any more frequently than you would drop your phone.
You know, I watched, you said you did, MKB, Marquise Brownlee. I can't even say the whole acronym.
Yeah.
And he was doing the screen recording from the inside where you could like watch what he
Yeah.
was doing. And he was like playing like ping pong.
Wii tennis.
And yeah, he was like doing things with it on where he wasn't really like, what was the latency? Like 0.2 seconds. Like he was just almost missing the ball, but he was still able to hit it as it was coming. Wow, that's crazy. Pardon the left. He was still able to hit the ping pong ball as it was coming to him with the headset on.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just
Oh, you're talking about the external cameras.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dude, my
It's a
thing
shot
is,
in the dark.
we can argue this cost thing. I'm a believer that the cost will come down. The next generation will be cheaper.
Yeah, but
And they'll scrap some
okay,
features.
but here you
certainly.
go. Fine.
definitely
Let's
gonna
say
scrap that,
let's say
like-
they 3,000. You gonna buy it? No.
2,500,
No, they're not. They're not going to drop the price $1,000.
1,700.
What Apple product has ever come down a
You know, here's the
grand?
other thing. I'll argue this. I mean, we're comparing 3G price at like 1,200. That was 10 years ago. I mean, more than 10 years ago. What is $1,200 now than it was 10 years ago?
An oil change?
iPhone price has come down.
What price?
Adjusted for inflation.
All right, fair
has
enough.
come down.
What price do you buy Vision Pro for? What
Cash?
price do you go into an Apple store in a week from now and you go, "This is pretty cool. I'm gonna pony up." What's the number?
If I feel like there are some, I can
I've-
use it daily for something that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
You
thing. I
show
feel like I
up-
don't know enough about it yet
Right.
to tell you that.
You show up and you're like, "This is awesome. I can watch all of my favorite iTunes purchased movies on this."
Idiot.
Not worth it.
And if I have a Disney Plus account, I can stream
I can watch the Marvels.
Ahsoka or whatever it's
Right
called.
There's
here.
probably a Plex app.
No, probably not.
I mean, if
Probably
not,
not
watch
yet.
it on Safari. Plex
Okay,
works fine
so
in
but I'm
Safari.
saying back to my question, what's the number? 1,500, 2,000, 25,
1,750.
Yeah, I think
1,750.
between,
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that's
where-
pretty
between
close.
I would
15
even
and
con-
2,000 is the right number for something.
I would
like that.
I would
Seven-
agree with that.
Where I would even
Yes.
consider it.
Because you got to
know?
put it in range with the rest of the things that people are buying from Apple.
Y'all are gonna go buy these goggles for $2,000?
No,
I would consider it.
1,750.
I consider it.
but those
You
things,
consider
but
it.
those are the prices that make people like us consider it.
Right now, I'm not considering it at all.
And we're Apple diehards, and we're not even considering it at $3,500.
Because there's nothing I can do with it.
Now, you say we're Apple diehards, but I think what you mean is Taylor's an Apple diehard because I just glanced over and saw that big old stack of computers back
But
there.
I-
I'll
think
have
Taylor's the
I'll
Apple
have you
diehard.
know, this is like a lifetime of computers of
Where are the
Emily
Lenovo's?
and my whole family. I have my sister's laptop over here. I've got Graham's laptops, Ed's, like everybody's laptops. I have laptops over here. I wind up with all of them.
That sweet titanium iBook right there, or PowerBook.
Glad there's no
That's
swollen
12
batteries
inch,
over
dude.
there.
Yeah, well, I know it is, bud.
It's 12
You
inches,
used to
dude.
have to tuna can those bitches, get that hard drive
It's
out.
a limited edition,
Yeah,
bro.
truth.
It's rare.
Limited edition, bro.
You strap that to somebody's car and put a firework on it. Jesus Christ.
The fact that none of these batteries have expanded, my God.
But
His
yeah.
studio's nice until he puts all his old Apple products together.
Oh no,
One of them's got to have a Samsung battery in
I've
it.
stacked all those because I'm gonna start pulling all the hard drives out, and then they're all going.
Using them as skateboards. What was that genius bar Twitter again?
Paperweights
In the bag
are
of the
their-
genius reviews and hard drives like skateboards.
I don't know what you do with
So
them. I
fun
guess you
back
recycle them. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
All right, so that's pretty good. That brings us. I mean, we're at time. We're at time.
It always sucks when you say that.
Sorry, dude. I don't know what to
It's
tell
part
you.
of the job.
I mean, you got a couple minutes left if you really want to stretch it. Self checkout's coming to an end. You bummed about that? You do self checkout?
They got tired of the
love
thieves, man.
Everyone's
it.
stealing shit.
Yeah, I get a couple pairs of underwear from Target every once in a while.
you almost got a half bottle of whiskey tonight.
You're the reason.
And that wasn't self-checkout.
That wasn't self-checkout.
I saw him do that and I went, whew, I got to go do something somewhere else.
Because I
Do I
said I was
call
like,
it out
Yeah,
or?
no, I appreciate your
I didn't
honesty.
know if he was giving it to me because I
I
was
appreciate
like,
I saw it in the back. I was like,
are
oh,
you
wow.
giving me that?
Like, he loves us. But I was like, oh, wow.
But I also didn't want to leave my wife's popcorn, so
Yeah.
But no,
because all he would do is
Priorities.
pick it up and then
Yeah. Shit.
I didn't want it to be a whole thing. You know.
Yep.
So self checkout's coming to an end, or at least it's being scaled back in a lot of establishments. That's what the article
Get the kids
that
back to work.
that I had read
Pandemic's over.
was indicating.
Get the
a lot of-
16-year-old jobs.
A lot of thievery.
Put them back to work.
A lot of criminality.
Open
out
up
there.
these aisles at Target.
I'll admit,
2 aisles open and self checkout. No, get these kids
I
back to work.
still love self-check. Even Target.
Dude.
Target's the best example of that. Those self-checkout lines are crazy, but it's way faster than a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. You like it because you got honest intentions, you're
Sure.
not gonna go and steal.
No.
Well, I would like
joke,
it if I
man, but
didn't have
I
honest
pay for
intentions
everything.
also.
Yeah, but that's
I mean,
what I'm
let's
saying.
argue that.
I know way too many stories of people going in Walmart and having a field day.
Oh, a chick got caught last time I was at Target. They were just loading up and
damn,
paid
dude.
like $60. Security was like right there. Like, come on.
This is a whole nother thing, but another thing that popped up on my YouTube, I mentioned my suggestions have been crazy, was a video that I did not watch about how in-store security is becoming like the police. Like they're being tasked with solving actual crime. Like
Really?
investigating evidence of actual crime. And
What
I
kind of
want to know what it
crimes
is.
could be-
I don't know. The video was called like Target Security Solving Murder or
We
something
should-
like that. And
we should
obviously
get
that may not
we
be
should
the
get
case.
part-time jobs.
As security?
Yeah. As
I
loss
will-
prevention experts for like Target or something like that. I would love to solve petty in-store crime.
No, I want to solve a real crime.
I don't
From
want
being Target security.
Too much responsibility.
True detective.
I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to
Target
court.
detective.
Black Matthew McConaughey.
Like, I don't need to, and when they ask me, do I want to, no.
I just want to review the footage and figure out who stole the Altoids.
I do love reviewing. I like sit there and like scroll back. Give me a few frames.
I
You
don't
get the
want
mouse
to.
with the knob.
I don't wanna-
Right, scroll.
Nothing that takes me to court.
Little
I just
joystick,
want to be.
move the camera around. I'm on to you.
I personally would like to solve parking lot crimes.
I think
like
also
cars-
falls under.
like carts into cars. Kind
yeah,
of
that
thing?
falls under the
Whatever
purview
happens
of
in the
loss
parking
prevention,
lot.
dude.
Got it.
Somebody broke into my car, and I'm like, license plate, and then I gotta call my cop detective friend to get camera surveillance from the traffic lights.
Here we go. CBS Evening News. Oh, this was from 5 years ago. This one, this is not on my suggestions, but how Target retailers help catch criminals outside of stores.
I wouldn't mind a job.
There are more than 1,800 Target stores in the U.S. Oh, never mind. I thought that was like Target security.
I'm not a cop, but I got authority. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind that.
I don't know. I would enjoy a small amount.
Of power?
Yeah, not like I want to be in a position of power where like I know it's bullshit, you know it's kind of bullshit, but also like
You gotta listen to me.
give me your Target bags back.
Zach and I, for a long time, have said that when we retire, we want to be Disney security.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they just
Yeah.
stand with an
Dude.
umbrella over, night, rain or shine.
This is
they
what I'm
just
talking
stand
about.
there.
Like what are you gonna deal with on
Yeah.
a day? Like it'll be fun, but how rowdy is it really gonna get?
I mean, if you give me pushback, I'm just all right. Just go ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna invoke my authority. But if you're like, all right, listen.
Because
Go ahead.
I wanna do my job.
if it gets too much, you're calling the cops anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're just there to be like,
I don't want to deal with them either.
I want to be
That's
effective.
paperwork.
I want to be
Y'all
effective
gotta go.
enough that they take away
y'all gotta get out of here.
the security cages from the undershirts in Canton Target.
They have what?
Bro,
Yeah.
it's the most annoying thing in the world. Canton Target.
Are you shopping in the hood?
All
It's
of
Canton.
It's Canton, dude. It takes me like 45 minutes to get there. Why
That's
would I go
crazy.
there?
I don't even think it's Canton's not the hood.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
No, but,
But
it's
you've
far
been somewhere
away.
where you got.
It's adjacent to a Harris Teeter.
yes,
It
right
is,
now,
that's
and a
crazy.
Nordstrom rack.
It's far away though.
Are they flash mobbing it or something like that?
I have no clue what they're
probably
doing.
what it is.
But all the undershirts and the Similac and all of those
Oh,
things.
that's always locked up.
Yeah.
Similac?
Yeah. Formula. Baby formula.
Oh, yeah. I remember when
Yeah.
that was a thing for a while. Wasn't that a thing during COVID?
Yeah,
there was like
during the
baby
pandemic.
formula.
Like
short.
every white
hell
t-shirt,
is
socks,
wrong with this
white beater, like they are locked up. If you want to get a pack of t-shirts from Target in Canton, you got to call the associates.
Wild.
Yeah. The Giant in Owens Mills is the same way.
The
Oh, they-
t-shirts
they-
are locked up at the Giant.
No, just a lot of stuff is
it's
like,
locked up.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Great.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. It's time, dude. I mean, we can still hang out and drink and talk and do all that, but
Oh, we will be.
yeah, there you go. All right. Episode 72, dude.
72.
I kind of enjoyed this. I know
It is.
You know, it is.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I kind of want to name my glass.